It's April 8th, 2018, WrestleMania. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan and Raj Giri. What a show, folks. What a show. Mr. Matt Morgan, to you first. Give me your high-level thoughts on WrestleMania, especially that ending we just witnessed.
You know what they say? They say the beginning and the ending of a show makes or breaks a pay-per-view, especially at WrestleMania. We've had Hogan slam Andre. You know, we've had Shawn Michaels, finally realizing his childhood dream. We've had all these humongous moments. Tonight, I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns. Okay, I'm not. But tonight was supposed to be this dude's crowning achievement. They took us all on this ridiculously super long story, and they shit the fucking bed. I'll eat the fine for that curse. They absolutely crapped the bed tonight, did WWE with that finish tonight. I'm not saying that in a markish way, and they hooked me in for the storyline and gave me and they took me on a ride and they tricked me. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for business purposes, this was a horrible decision by WWE, a horrid decision. And it's a shame because there were some really huge matches on tonight's card. I'm happy my boy AJ freaking matches, in my opinion, match of the night, though there's some really close ones. Charlotte loved that match versus Osku, that we didn't expect that finish. But that was a hell of a match. The Intercontinental Championship match was great. U.S. title left a little bit to be desired. There was a lot of matches that we could talk about, but that ending, what should have happened, did not happen. And again, I'm not saying it in a mark way, like, oh, they tricked us here. Ooh, that's what they do. No, this was a horribly bad business decision.
Well, at least put it in the middle of the show or something. Why finish with that? If you're going to go with that ending, why not have it earlier and then you finish, with your Daniel Bryan match and then Ronda Rousey. I mean, that match, I thought over delivered.
Great match. I forgot to last that as one of their best matches, by the way. Yes.
Yeah. So if you finish with that, I just feel like the whole perception of the show would have been turned around,
We're going to jump all over the place, but Ronda belongs in that ring.
She was awesome.
Her poise was incredible. We'll get into it, but her poise was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good on this show, but I think when you finish with that turd, and then with Strowman, it was kind of a feel-good moment. I know the arena was going nuts for it. I mean, the stadium was going nuts for it. But when the people at home, when you're promising a surprise and you're teasing it, and then that's what brain Strowman, and I mean, that's basically what it was. Good for the kid. This is nothing against the kid. I thought the kid did great, but you promise a surprise, and that's what you give. Put that on earlier in the show. Do the Undertaker bit later, because at least people genuinely weren't sure if Taker was, or at least some people weren't sure if Taker was going to come out. At least it was a cool moment. The fans were into it. So you deliver on a surprise later in the show. You don't earlier in the show. So I don't know.
Problematic.
Disappointed. Very disappointed in that finish. And so was the audience. They shit all over that match, the entire match, because that's what happens for big guys like that to close the show. We've seen it in the past. You've got to be putting each other through announce table in order to keep up with the work rate that has skyrocketed since WWE has started bringing in Ring of Honor guys or the AJ Styles or the Nakamura's, the Seth Rollins. All of these guys have Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan. The business has changed. If you're going to close with two big guys, I can see why people would argue, well, it's a different style, therefore it stands out now. The big plodding, slow style. I can understand that. But in the same token, you have a huge arena full of whatever the hell it was in the arena tonight, and you've got to step it up a lot more than what was stepped up in that match tonight. That match sucked.
I don't think there was anything they could have done to turn the crowd around.
You put AJ Nakamura then. You do something
That's what
else.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't have gone on last. I think the crowd already had its mind made up that they weren't going to like the match before it started.
And I was getting mad at them. As a wrestler, I was getting mad at them, which I know I shouldn't be doing, but I kind of was.
Well, WWE, they wanted Lesnar to get that heat he had when he faced Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. Well, they got it, but this wasn't better because you had fans not wanting Lesnar to win, and they didn't want Reigns to win, so they just crapped all over the match.
Yeah.
And honestly, it just got interesting when Roman got busted open, and it was like, huh, this is extreme. And then it was over like 30 seconds later.
I don't get what chapter did I miss, guys? That Brock comes out the winner here with the story they told.
I don't get it either. Like, I don't know. You know, I know people are speculating. I don't think this is what it was, that people were speculating that it's an audible. But you know what's interesting is the odds were changing tonight, like during the event. And like, you know, the betting odds were off tonight, but it was interesting how much they changed from yesterday. This was the only match where that happened, where Reigns was a minus 1,200 favorite. And then by the time the main event was about to go on, they were about even odds. So what
about Osku? I figured the odds for her would have been huge, no?
I think they were, yeah, but they didn't change much. So I think it was one of those. I don't know if the smart money just came in on that match, but something caused a big shift. Whereas all the other matches mostly changed the same, like small fluctuations here and there.
I have a theory.
Nakamura heel turn would have been cool to end it with. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I have a theory. We built this up that this was going to be like the most stacked WrestleMania ever. Now, at the same time, this is also a WrestleMania that a lot of people felt very certain about things. The big Roman Reigns year-long plan with Brock. We felt certain about that. Oh my God, Asuka's going to keep her streak. Everyone felt fairly certain about that. Nakamura could really win with AJ. They built that up. Okay, you did. What I'm saying is a lot of people, that if you look at the sort of this, put your finger in the air, sense which way the wind is blowing amongst the internet wrestling community, there were some just preconceived thoughts about tonight. And I think Vince McMahon thought, you know what? Let's just blow it the F up.
I don't think so. I think Asuka not winning the SmackDown Women's title was clearly the plan because she's feuding with Nia Jax on the Raw side. I thought they would do the cash-in, and so Asuka still goes to Raw. But, you know, we had been speculating on Asuka possibly losing and then doing a cash-in. But
Does Homegirl lose the Money in the Bank briefcase? It's been a year.
No, it's a year in June.
Yeah, it's not quite a year yet.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I think... I thought AJ was going to win. I figured he was going to beat Nakamura, and this feud would continue through the summer.
I started getting my mind changed though when I saw the 24 series.
Yeah,
Nakamura.
seriously.
I started like the groundswell was coming for him. I really felt it in the audience a little bit too. I don't know. It was great. What a great finish.
I love that. I love that heel turn. I thought Nakamura. I think he's been missing that edge, and you know we talked about how like sometimes he's over goofy in some of his promos and mannerisms that like hurts him a bit. Now I feel like he can get that, and it's something unique. So I'm looking forward to that.
It was a good timing for him to turn.
So this is the start of that story. So
this is what WWE should have done with Roman a while back.
Right, but that match I thought too, AJ and Nakamura. I thought the match itself was a downer.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, the crowd was dead. Like they weren't into it at all.
The crowd was. It's what were you listening to?
The crowd sucked.
You listened to the crowd at the beginning, and you listened to it at the end. They had the crowd.
Yeah, and the 20 minutes in between, it's a dead crowd. You just hear like an indifferent buzz in the crowd.
I'd say it should have opened the show. Yeah. It should have opened the show.
I agree. I think it should have been on earlier.
You guys don't want to know what you're looking at then. They told maybe the second or third best story out of all the matches on that card. And they absolutely killed each other.
Yeah, right. But if the crowd is not into it,
I don't give a shit about that crowd. That crowd
the crowd makes it. Then watch 205 Live if you don't care about the crowd.
In fairness,
you go watch NXT and beat yourself off to watching if you want to listen to an audience. I'll pay money to watch two stars do their thing in the ring, okay, and tell good stories. That's what I watch for when I'm a fan. I don't mark out because the other marks go bananas or not. I know what I want to see out of the match.
A lot of people were bored during that match.
Then they need to go watch Broadway. I don't know what to tell you.
But there were a lot of matches on the show where they weren't dead. So
for Nicholas. Case closed.
And Daniel Bryan and Ronda Rousey.
Now, Matt, did you watch the pre-show? Matt, did you watch the pre-show?
Yeah.
Did you watch the pre?
No, no. Hell no.
Okay. So, in fairness to the crowd, you had a 5-hour WrestleMania experience tonight. Shinsuke and AJ, you, was about 3 hours and change into the show. They got up this morning. They stood in that line to get into WrestleMania. They watched 2 hours of pre-show with two random-ass battle royals that So, how do you make a battle royal boring and sort of inconsequential? They did that tonight.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
they're tired. I get it.
Yeah, I'm saying that it does a disservice to the performer, and you know this, having been a performer, where you're booked in the card can help you or can hurt you.
It absolutely is. But at the end of the day, when I'm a fan and I'm watching my TV and I'm watching what matches I want to watch and what I'm entertained by, I don't give a shit what the guy next to me is doing or not.
It's not that. It's not just that. It's the atmosphere. It's everything that goes with it. It's not just whether somebody else likes it or not. It's the whole experience of that and that match. And when you got a quiet crowd, it hurts it.
And
you guys are really overselling this. They were quiet stuff. They were not quiet. Right. Were they going bonk? Oh shit! I lost you guys. Were they going bonkers? No.
Yeah. Well, Daniel Bryan, his match went on way too long without him in it for the majority of it. I felt there were a lot of matches tonight. And when you're at the end of that card, man, when you got all these other matches that are going on forever, a lot of them that don't need to. Look how long Nyah and Alexa went tonight. Like, this didn't need to be a 5-hour main card WrestleMania. I think they could have nipped and tucked an hour off this without losing a damn thing. And it hurts the performers at the end,
Let's start running through it. Let's go to the pre-show.
We've got to sponsor this episode. I want to do that right now because I don't want to interrupt us for anything. And as you can tell, folks, we're going to get a little heated tonight about things. And let's sequester our sponsor from the heat. So you guys wouldn't know this, but I shaved this morning. WrestleMania was so damn long. This is just what's grown today. And when I shaved with Dollar Shave Club, the sponsor of this episode. You've heard us talk about the amazing shave that you get from a Dollar Shave Club razor, especially when you use it with the Dr. Carver shave butter. And I'm here to tell you, I am never giving up my membership. In fact, I'm adding even more DSC products to my daily routine. They make products for your hair, face, skin, shower, everything you need. You want to look like well-groomed Glenn? Get on the Dollar Shave Club. They have me looking and feeling amazing, and it's all their own original stuff. They use only the finest premium ingredients, and they deliver it to you just like they do their razors. That means no more annoying trips to the store, cruising up and down the aisles, looking at that shelf upon shelf, wondering what in the hell is this and what in the hell do I do with it? I use Dollar Shave Club for almost everything: razors, body cleansers, hair gel, and yes, even the butt wipes. You've heard Raj and Matt, all of us, go off on those before and how fantastic they are. They will change your bathroom experience. DSC has you covered from head to toe and, well, from front to back. And now is a great time to give Dollar Shave Club a try. You can get your first month of the best razor along with travel-sized versions of the shave butter, the body cleanser, and yes, even the butt wipes for just $5. And after that, replacement cartridges shipped to you for just a few bucks a month. It's the DSC Starter Set. Get yours for just $5 exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/INC. That's dollarshaveclub.com/INC. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible.
And I'm telling you, once I used them one time and I've been hooked on them since. So you just try it out. You get that discount right now. And I don't think you'll be disappointed because I've been with them ever since.
Absolutely, man. It is good stuff. So tonight, WrestleMania, let's quickly talk about the pre-show, the 5th annual Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Battle Royal with no entrances. Nobody gets an entrance. A whole lot of nothing happened until it was down to just Matt and Kane, Mojo, Baron. All of a sudden, Bray Wyatt appears, helps toss out the other guys. Matt Hardy is your Andre winner this year.
Yeah, so Bray Wyatt showed up, so he's a babyface now.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like, and they celebrated afterwards, him and Matt, so looks like they're paired together. Matt had been doing that angle at house shows where he's telling him he needs to change and do all that. So,
yep.
So yeah, it looks like we've been talking for a while about Bray needing a change. So they're not repackaging him per se, but turning him babyface. I think it's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah. Cruiserweight Championship to fill the vacant Cruiserweight title. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. Mustafa looking like a stud with that entrance and that mask. I thought this was a really
Sub-Zero Glacier. Yeah. It was cool. I thought it was a really good match.
I don't know that's going to convert people to 205, but hey, Cedric hit the lumbar check for the win, and he is the new Cruiserweight champion. Recommend that's a match I feel like would have been better outside of WrestleMania. Tough spot in the card.
I feel like a small arena always works better for those matches.
It should have been on TakeOver. Honestly, if that had been on TakeOver last night, Would have been huge. And the inaugural WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. I felt like we got punished here for our response to that Moolah thing because, I mean, seriously, like Becky, Sasha, and Bayley got entrances.
I saw this.
Yeah, it was a cluster F. I didn't even know who was in the ring.
There were a bunch of girls from NXT, Kairi Sane, iconic duo, but they got like hardly any mentions.
What do you think, man?
It was ridiculous. Horrible. The women's division has come so far, and that's what you guys do to them? You stick them all in like a bunch of jobbers. And worse, NXT, you have some potential stars, and you completely kill them by not giving them any type of entrance at all. I get not everyone can have an entrance, but I don't know. I didn't like that. I was like, wait, well, hold up. Who are all these chicks? Who's the big chick in the orange? I remember saying that. Who's the girl in the orange?
Right. Has she wrestled on NXT yet? I know she was in the Mae Young Classic.
I don't remember her.
Kavita Devi is her name. Yeah. She's like the first Indian signee.
Trained by the great Khali. They should never say that.
They shouldn't say that.
That poor girl.
And that's a stigma she's gonna have to fight. But
Bianca Belair got the moment with her hair whip. I thought that was kind of cool.
I like her. her.
She's got charisma. She looked a little scared when she was on the top rope there for a minute.
Yeah, she did.
She looked nervous about doing that.
But do you guys see what I'm saying? Though they've come so far, and that's how you guys shoehorn them. I get the timing. Then don't do this type of thing if you're not going to give everybody the time. That's all.
And you've been building this Sasha Bayley thing, and he did nothing. They just. I mean, Naomi was a surprise. She's a hard worker. It's hard to root against her, but it was also kind of,
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was, and they've got a women's problem coming forward from this because they've got so many women. There's no way they're going to be able to serve all of them if they don't expand the number of segments, storylines, titles, something on Raw or SmackDown. I almost think they do a show on the network that if it maybe features one or two matches, replays some of the matches from Raw and SmackDown, do those social media bits that they've been shooting for the women that don't make it to TV, but there's a huge fan base for these women out there, and the WWE is going to have to figure out how to super serve that fan base going forward because they built up the demand. Now they have to deliver on the supply. But yeah, that Battle Royal was quite frankly a bust.
It was very missable.
Yeah, unfortunate. But Naomi did win that. People thought Bayley had won. She
never got eliminated. She went she didn't go over the top rope, so she came back in. Bayley thought she won. Bayley threw out Sasha. That got a pop, and then Naomi snuck in behind, eliminated her, and got the win.
Man. Yeah. And Naomi didn't even get a cool ringside spot like she got in the Royal Rumble or anything. It's like, oh no, I wasn't out.
I feel like they should rotate these the battle royals. Like you don't need two on the show. Do one year, do the women's the next, do the men's, rotate them out or something. Or if you do 2 days for WrestleMania, have one day and the other one the other.
I like that idea. Make it a weekend. Why not?
Yeah, they got to do something. So they don't do cuts anymore right after WrestleMania. I mean, there's not a lot of fat for them to trim right now. I mean, they've just got an embarrassment of riches, too much talent, and they've got to figure out a way to program all of them, especially with these combined pay-per-views going forward. It's going to be really interesting to see how they do this. And if they do cut people, man, what a time for Impact or Ring of Honor or any other promotion that really wants to get serious right now.
This is a very deep roster, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, an amazing amount of talent. So the first match of the official card was the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. Seth coming out again with kind of a Sub-Zero theme, had those ice blue contacts in.
Yeah,
Miz came out.
White Walkers in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Miz came out with his sort of steampunk, almost Velveteen Dream inspired costume there. And then Finn Balor, we did the cool Balor Club for Everyone moment, coming out with the people wearing the shirts where the proceeds are going to Glad. I thought that was nice, but he looked really underdressed for such a big match, just coming out in the basic leather.
Considering he's got the coolest gimmick of them all.
Absolutely, man.
Right. I don't know. This was a hell of a match, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed this match.
Great way to start the show.
It was a great opener.
I did think, however, if we're talking about championships and who could have used it the most, it was Finn. Yeah. For my money. Seth, maybe this was a reward. This guy's a former heavyweight champion working in the main event. He was in the Shield. Things got busted when guys got hurt or whatever hell happened and did a break up Shield. You know, maybe this was a reward. I don't know. I just know that what's his name should have won the title. Finn. I thought he could have used it the most.
Plus, Ron's had that great gauntlet match. He's been on kind of a roll lately. So as far as like the most over guys in this match, I feel he's more over than Finn. But I could see Finn needs something because he's kind of treading water a little bit.
Or he goes to SmackDown now.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think, but we'll see.
Him with that title, I thought would have been cool going to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. But no, Rollins is a Grand Slam champion now.
Wow. Very quickly.
Yeah, man. Oh, so one thing we should talk about, John Cena was in the crowd tonight for the first 2 hours.
That killed every... Dude, even in the girls' match, which I was so into. Every time they kept going to Cena, I watched it with some friends tonight, and I kept going, anything he touches, he ruins. Stop showing him.
I thought they should have made him the host of WrestleMania. Honestly, given how the Taker thing worked out, if Cena had done that all night and gone around the arena and just pressed flesh with the fans, I thought it was cool that he did. I mean, honestly, a star of his size now looked like they had a ton of security on the perimeters there.
Yes.
But yeah, it was different.
Half of those fans.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a case where Undertaker couldn't do more than a 3-minute match. So if that's the case, then maybe this was the way to go about it. But
no, they could have built 3 months to this, Raj, and just seen Undertaker, the man, destroy John Cena in 3 minutes, regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's happened. Brock and Goldberg, which I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell we missed on this one. What did we miss?
But the crowd, they were going crazy for it, though.
Hell yeah, it's Undertaker.
Yeah.
But my question is, what did we miss to not see the business plan here? Of you have Undertaker, you're going to put him on WrestleMania. He's going to wrestle a match versus John Cena, arguably if not the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Hate him or not.
Yeah, unless Vince thought that the crowd would have crapped on the match, and doing it this way, the crowd was into it.
You still bill the match.
No, I agree. Hey, we've been saying this for the last 6 weeks.
I'm literally asking, what did we miss business plan wise here?
That's the only thing I could come up with is that he thought the match was going to suck, that they could only go a few minutes, and the fans were going to crap on it. So by not advertising it, then delivering it, it's a big surprise to the fans. So they're into it, they like it, and then they're happy as opposed to crapping on it because you get a short Undertaker match. That's the only thing I could think of. Because to me, you build it up, and even if you can add an extra minute or two,
it counts.
I mean, it's two legends.
Exactly. And I'm okay with it being short. If they ever wrestled again, I'm still okay with it being short, because sometimes, guys, in a real fight, that's the way stuff goes down.
Yeah. Well, this isn't his last match. I mean, that's my takeaway. He was announced he was brought up talking about the greatest Royal Rumble coming up in 3 weeks. I think, again, if he's going to retire, Survivor Series bookends. I hope this wasn't his final match tonight. I would actually take what he did with Roman.
He looked good, you guys. He looked good. John Cena pussed out of a big boot by about a foot. He pussed out.
Yeah, do you want to? Do you want to go out of order and just talk about this right now?
Well, no, let's just keep it in order because it is.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. Hey, we're going to be a little all over the place tonight. It's hard to have self-contained feelings about WrestleMania.
No, you should have shut me off. I thought it was next. Sorry,
Matt. No worries, man. Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. This was a huge freaking surprise. Put on a very competitive match, and then at a certain point, Charlotte gets Asuka in the figure eight with one arm doing the bridge of all things because her arm was injured. Oh my God. And Asuka tapped.
Yeah.
I love this match. I love this match for so many reasons.
That ending,
was good. They didn't use do the traditional builds that they do to a finish where they're kicking out of each other's finishers and stuff like that. So it kind of almost came out of nowhere where you were shocked when it happened, but I kind of like that.
Yep.
I thought it was effective, and you're not doing the cash in, so this was the only other finish you were going to do if you want Asuka on Raw, and I also feel like, I just don't think that they see Asuka she's the best worker probably on the roster, but I don't see they see her as at that level of star that they have to keep protecting her so much and keep the streak going forever.
Charlotte's the best all around, the total package, everything included. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything you could want. Like going tomorrow on the talk shows, no one's looking better than Charlotte going there, right?
Right.
I don't know. Somebody who I was watching the show with tonight was like, so if Osku wins, is she going Good Morning America tomorrow? And I was like, that sounds stupid, but that's not, you know what I mean? Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. Like WWE looks at the big picture, you know?
Oh, I think it was always last year. Actually, this year, well, I guess it's going to be Nyah and AJ. I was going to say before, but it would have been Nyah and Roman. But they're not sending Brock on Good Morning America.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was Roman too. Same here. We'll get into that.
Yeah. Man, so I just think it's weird given how heavy they built up the streak as Asuka's almost defining characteristic for the 8 months that she's been on the main roster. But I'll tell you, this is going to make, when it's her and Nyah or whatever they do next for her on Raw, now it's going to be a lot more competitive because we don't know who's going to win.
Guys, that's the problem with an undefeated streak sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that it's always the hand is always tipped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I also think when it's working, then of course you go with it. But I feel like with Asuka, and a lot of that was how she was booked. She's left laying half the time. You know, she's not booked as dominant, even though she has a streak. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So
yeah.
Great match.
Yep.
Very surprising ending.
One of the best matches on the show.
I thought it was a little weird having Asuka do the Charlotte was ready for Asuka.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, her promo, she's just over animated to where
it's raise her opponent's hand, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man. Hot show at this point, right? Like those two matches.
Yeah, I was into it. Wow.
Yes.
Then the fatal four-way for the United States title. Bobby Roode versus Rusev versus Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Entrances, good. Crowd, hyped. I just feel that we've seen this match so many times. I started to tune out. But shocker that Jinder Mahal is the new United States champ.
Personally, I'm ecstatic for him.
Didn't I call this a couple? Wasn't the math working in his favor?
But really, like, because his run with the main title was so lackluster, with a mid card title, it's gonna be better.
It's a second run. He had it the U.S. Championship already.
True. Yeah, don't even remember anything about it.
Oh wait, he had the U.S. Championship.
I think he did.
Jinder? No, Jinder was just WWE champion.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he never held a title before that WWE title.
He's been in the picture.
No, after.
He may have after. It's hot potatoed a little bit.
I thought
no. He wasn't. No, that was just between. That was Bobby. Bobby won it from Ziggler. Remember Ziggler and him had that thing? But
I don't know.
I don't know why I thought he had it. Oh well.
Why was there a tournament again?
Because Dolph left.
Oh, that's right. Dolph won it then.
So he could be in the Andre Giant Battle Royal.
But then who won the tournament?
He was nothing.
Bobby.
Bobby won. Okay, that's what it was. Randy got it off Bobby.
Yeah.
That's the problem with this thing. I'm sick of seeing the same guys fighting each other over this title and trying to treat it like this is the big chase.
I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised they had Rusev take the fall.
Yeah.
But you know what? Rusev, I will say this. They were chanting Rusev Day earlier in the show. But when he was out there, they weren't really chanting it. You know, at the end, they were hot for him, but that was it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe the guys were talking too much. I was with.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Man, but what is this going to do for the SmackDown top 10 list?
Glenn.
Let's make a pact to never bring that up again.
Yeah, as long as Road Dogg never brings it up again on SmackDown. Man, so surprisingly early, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Fourth match on the main card. Match that went longer than a lot of people thought it was going to go. Ronda, man, Triple H and Steph keep doing these entrances. Like
I like them.
Really? You think so? I like Charlotte's tonight. That was really cool, especially given that she was like the slave girl in Triple H's King entrance 4 years ago, and tonight she had those Centurion. I hope one of those guys was Triple H in the helmet just for turnabout being fair play. But yeah,
that entrance was awesome, by the way. Charlotte's entrance.
Oh my God, amazing. Awesome. But yeah, Triple H and Steph do this entrance. I mean, I don't like, is it really badass to ride a 3-wheeler at 2 miles an hour down to the ring?
Well, when you say it like that, no, but I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. At least they did something.
Yeah.
You know, Stephanie, you don't want her, you know, I'm guessing she doesn't ride motorcycles around, you know, in her free time. So yeah, the 3-wheeler's safe. Triple H looked like a Cobra Kai with the Some people are bringing up that I picked Randy Orton on the last podcast, so I was wrong on that match. Yeah. But
if we're keeping score at this point, folks, it's too late for that.
It's pro wrestling. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I got a bunch of these wrong. But yeah, I thought the entrance was cool. I thought Rousey looked great.
Oh my God, that was like, I mean, with the skirt and the whole with the Piper's
no eyeliner, no red eyeliner.
Can we just talk about the match, because she was incredible. She superseded, I hope, everyone's expectations. She did mine.
Absolutely.
And her facials. This is how you know she's a diehard pro wrestling fan, because she was able to replicate and duplicate what she's watched for years. And what I'm talking about is when you're about to put an armbar on Stephanie McMahon, and you pause and you ask the crowd without being cheesy about it and sucking them all in, and you can't teach that. You have to be a fan to pick up on that and to replicate that, and it takes time. It takes people years to get that poise. And when you're a fan, you have a leg up on that, in my opinion. And holy crap, man! Even her taking the bumps she was taking into the outside, the pole, the ring posts, everything. The shoulder in the corner she missed. Her bumping, her everything was so on point. Superseded my expectations. She belongs in that wrestling ring. They need to do something with her promos to help if they really want to, you know, accentuate her strengths and hide her weaknesses. But like once that bell rings, she is. I'm going to say she's phenomenal in there. I can't say a bad thing about what she did in that ring tonight.
She took a lot of bumps in that match too, like in some pretty stiff ones, like Kurt, you know, bumping in and, you know, accidentally bumping into her, being thrown into her. There's a lot of stuff in this match that, you know, was pretty stiff, and she did great. I thought in many ways this was the match of the night. You know, as far as it had the interest. If you know, I feel like if this went on last, you put Roman versus Brock here, and if that went on last, the whole perception of the show would have been different. This was great.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, I almost thought they were going to have Ronda tap out Triple H with how much they were doing with them during the match.
It's cool though, man. I really liked it. I thought it was good. I think the future looks very bright for her, where it's not just stunt casting. I mean, she can do this. And you know what's funny is they kept her out of the ring long enough that you doubted her ring ability a little bit.
Right. Like you felt like, oh, they're hiding her for a purpose. Right.
So that was cool.
No, she did a lot in the match. You know, she did work. I mean, they've been working this match out a lot at the Performance Center. They've been you know, working the last month.
Start working on her Backlash match right now.
Right. Yeah.
When you first start, you guys, one of the hardest things to get over is just memorizing the moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not making it look like, okay, what do I do next? Now, what do I do now? What's this? Wait, duck one. Wait, what? As you're being shot off the ropes. That's the best face of all time when you're new. Someone goes to shoot you off and you forget where you are in the match, and he's like, duck one. Then you're like, wait, what? As you're hitting the ropes and running, and you don't know what the hell's coming. Like that. Those are nerves that happen in your first match. No matter who you are, that's what happens. And so you stop being the character. You stop making the proper facials and using the proper body language, selling, things like that. All come to a screeching halt, and you show your ass. She didn't do an ounce of that. So they could have rehearsed this a million times to Sunday. At the end of the day, once you're at WrestleMania and a huge-ass crowd like that, with all the fanfare, the noise, the pressure, the nerves, I just can't get over how well she did. I know it sounds crazy because she's Ronda Rousey and everybody expected so much. I didn't expect that. She killed it out there. I can't state that enough.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and then that, man, so that was a tough string of matches to follow.
Yeah, I mean, the show was off the hook at this point. Even like that U.S. title match was a little bit of a downer, but
they got it right back.
But they got it right back. Yeah, absolutely. Oh wait, did we miss one? Are we missing?
No, we got Charlotte. We got the
okay. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, match 5 was.
We had Cena. Oh, by the way, Rousey submitted Stephanie to win the match. Yeah, and then Cena was told that Taker was
horrible.
There, so he's right. Like that overacting, that same overacting.
Excuse me, Charlotte. Let me steal some of your heat as I run up the ramp.
And then Asuka's waving. She just lost her streak, but she's all happy about it.
What? That was so weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So had to follow that. The tag team titles for SmackDown. The New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos. Short match.
I didn't see this coming. I think Raj, you called this as the Bludgeon Brothers winning, right? I did not see this.
No, I was saying New Day.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I thought the Bludgeon Brothers were. I didn't want them to win, but I thought they were going to, and they did. And it's just like, great. Now we're stuck with this.
Yeah, I thought they could have done Usos or the New Day, one of them beating the other, and then you keep the Bludgeon Brothers in the picture and do it down the line. But
yeah, I
do not care about this match at all. I love the New Day. I love the Usos. And I think Luke Harper's talented as hell, and Rowan's good too. But the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick just takes me out of this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's terrible gimmick, and it can't end soon enough for me. But no, they are committed to this.
They're the champs.
Yeah, they're the champions. I hope Authors of Pain comes up soon and just runs over them for those belts, and they get repackaged.
Because they're a similar team, I don't see it happening, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna see them putting them on separate brands.
Yeah.
Just so each brand has that.
I hope somebody comes and takes it, though. I agree. It's not good. These guys are better than this gimmick.
Yeah, you could just have the Usos fighting from underneath and, trying to eventually get that big win. So.
Yeah. John Cena versus The Undertaker. It happened, folks.
Well,
first Elias came out, which I thought was kind of a good swerve. Elias,
same here. You want real?
I thought Elias was great.
Yeah, that heat was incredible.
That's what you do. You friggin' pull the yank. You yank it. You yank the carpet out from under the fans, and you instead of Taker, you put him out there. That's heat.
Yeah, and he's got great poise for someone that hasn't been on the main roster that long.
And shut your mouths. Every time I laugh.
I know. He just says it with such disdain that I love it. But yeah, I thought he was great here. It's good seeing him get something on the show.
Even if
he was originally scheduled for the Battle Royal, but taken out and Ascension were put in. But Elias was entertaining as hell. Cena, his over the top faces and the overacting, it was tough, but it worked as far as getting the crowd like really wanting Taker to come out and whip his ass. Now, the one thing that's interesting is Cena looked like he was out like an absolute scrub in this match, like a nothing, considering he's been the top WWE star for the last like 15 years. Let's face it, like Sting wouldn't do that. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, none of them would have went in there and just, basically done a squash match at this stage of their career.
He did it with Brock too. It shows you what you say what you want about John.
Yeah,
so, it argues the point that he's not trying to bury everybody or takes himself too seriously or whatever have you. Because look what he's done twice now.
Oh no, It's great. I mean, in that regard, he's fantastic. I think the problem with the match that I had with The Undertaker is that Cena lately has put on his best matches against guys that are very physical and have some fast agility. So when you have him and Taker. Yeah. It was slow. It was methodical. The movements, I don't know. I didn't feel like there wasn't storytelling there. This was a 3-minute payoff to the strangest, not the strangest story the WWE has ever told, but the strangest way they've gone about telling a story in the build up to this match.
It was odd.
Yeah. Cool that he was there. And I thought the entrance thing where they had his gear, the hat and the gloves and stuff in the ring.
Yeah. It was
cool. Went out, the lightning, that was cool. But yeah, man, if this was his last match, like I would be very bummed. I think the match, the match with Reigns, man, like, it had some rough spots where Taker was showing his age, but that match, I mean, that was a heart and soul, blood, sweat and tears, giving his all in that match, and you felt it. That's why the crowd gave it the reaction that it did last year.
And, Glenn, and also another, we'll get to the match, I know, as the main event when we get to Reigns and Lesnar, but another damn sign of what are you doing, WWE? You have him beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. And you don't have him. Come on. I just don't get it. Go ahead.
I wonder if Vince just feels like maybe what a lot of fans have been seeing, like maybe he sees Braun as the guy. Like he's
great. Then get it going. What the hell?
So what the fuck have we been doing for the last year?
Right. Well, now we got another year of Brock as champ.
That's what pisses me off, is that it's like, why the last year, everything that has sucked about the last year has largely been attributable to, well, Vince wants Reigns to go over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yes, that was the answer for everything. Yes. Yeah. You're right, Glenn. That was the answer for everything that would drive us nuts about something. Like, okay, well, I understand.
Yeah. But we can't even get that.
You think fans are like frustrated at this? Like, man, we just wanted you to get it over with, and you still didn't do it.
Yeah.
I feel that way. Yes, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I feel as a fan. Yes. Yep.
So Brock, we'll get to that. But he must have re-signed that. Otherwise, it makes absolutely no sense.
So this match tonight, man. I mean, good on Taker getting a win, but Taker hasn't. I mean, he wasn't doing these type of matches. I mean, this is kind of more similar to like some of the stuff Mark Henry or Big Show. Like, I'm gonna go out there and do 3 minutes. You know.
So this match was 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
I was okay with it. I don't know why. I just was.
I think for the story that was told, that's what it needed to be. I felt like it worked.
I was surprised it was a match. Guys, I'm surprised the bell rang. There was a referee. I kept going, holy shit. It's a real match.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I just felt it was weird that Cena was in that position, but it worked with the crowd. It worked for what it was. The crowd. I mean, it was never boring, right? I mean, you could look at the match itself and be like, it was nothing. It was just, it was a TV squash match from the 80s, but it worked. We can't look at this with that kind of an eye, right? We can't look at that with the eye like, hey, what kind of match was this? What would we rate it? It was, holy shit, Undertaker's showed up. First of all, he's here. Holy crap, he's in his wrestling gear. Holy crap, the extensions look kind of real, like in his hair. He looked like that was his,
We're talking about Taker's extensions? That's where we're at now?
Well,
I thought that was his real hair. It wasn't?
I know. He's got the real hair up top, but then he had extensions. But it looked good. Like it
Why'd
fit him.
Ruin that for me?
Kayfabe is dead, man.
Got some secrets about Christmas coming up.
Man, so after that, we saw the Hall of Fame inductees. The only reason I'm bringing this up is that it's notable. The Kid Rock wasn't there. So I wonder if he just bounced or he legitimately got in trouble for mentioning Vince in politics during his Hall of Fame speech.
No.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's normally the guy, if you're in the Hall of Fame, normally you stick around to have the moment where you come out of WrestleMania.
Do they do the celebrities?
Yeah, Joan London was there. Yeah. Was her Snoop Dogg was there.
But she wasn't in she was the Warrior Award.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was there when he was in. Typically the celebrity, I feel. Stays. I just thought it was a little notable. Goldberg got his entrance, came out. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, the Daniel Bryan.
There was something lacking with Goldberg this year. I'm a big Goldberg fan, but just as a headliner, I don't know. I agree.
Because he went out and gave a 45-minute long speech, just airing his grievances.
It was all over the place. It went from humble to cocky, humble to cocky.
Yeah, it was weird. After that, Daniel Bryan, the return package, leading into the match with Daniel and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami and Kevin attacked Daniel and kept him out of this match, for like the first 10 minutes. Daniel was being attended to by medical staff.
They were kind of playing off the WrestleMania 30 match where he got attended to by the medical staff, was about to be gurneyed out, but then came back.
I didn't remember that. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, they had the announcers that mentioned it too, though. It was, I mean, I like the story being told because when he did get in, place went nuts. Yeah. When he made that hot tag, that went crazy.
And it was a different hot tag. Hot tag, you come in and you're a house of fire. He came in and slowly went to, it was great. and made the crowd build and then build and build. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this worked.
Really quick, what'd you think of his entrance package? My wife didn't like it. I did. I thought it was awesome.
I thought it put too much on the yes chant as opposed to him. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it like, dude, Michigan State, they're an NCAA tournament or whatever. Right. All these big time things are like chanting yes. The World Series Giants. I mean, I don't know. Made him look like a bigger star to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that bothered me with that is because back in the day, Vince felt like Daniel Bryan was over because of the yes chant.
Yes, I remember this. Yep.
Yeah, so I almost made it feel like he was back to that. I don't know.
And for fans that don't remember this or don't know this, Vince thinks every time you chant "This is awesome," that the guy you're chanting that for is not over. That the move is over, not the guy. So remember that when you guys are making your chants. If you want the guy to get over, chant AJ Styles, chant Nakamura, chant whomever. Yeah, chant "This is awesome."
And that's the thing with Daniel Bryan too. They chant Daniel Bryan. It's not like they just do the yes chant. They're actually chant for the guy too. So this match, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I thought this match, it was fine. It wasn't a show stealer or anything, but it was that feel good. It was kind of basic. You didn't have too much back and forth. I think once Daniel Bryan was in, did he ever tag back out to Shane, or was that?
I think so.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I felt like it was mostly him after that.
Shane given his medical issues. Shane doing the coast to coast. I mean, Shane wrestled a phenomenal amount of this match for a guy dealing with what he's dealing with.
And he's got surgery going for. So I thought, I thought this was one of those things. You know, it wasn't some match of the year or anything, but it worked for what it was, and I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. It was really fun. And you're into it, and it was great seeing Daniel Bryan get that win, you know, after that long period.
No turns.
That was great. I like that too. I feel like Shane and Daniel Bryan turning on each other just doesn't make sense. I think Bryan turning heel is such a bad idea. I think Shane turning heel, I don't know. I just don't like that.
And then leaving, there's no purpose.
Right. He's got to get the surgery done, so he's going to be gone for a bit.
So Sammy and Kevin are going to Raw, or they're going to find some stupid way to keep them on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally forgot that stip. Like, it was such an afterthought.
But Daniel Bryan wins the match with the yes lock.
There you go. On Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought Sammy and Kevin were really good here. I love how much they jaw during their matches and talk smack. Thought it was good.
That was good. They after the match was over, Daniel went over to his wife, Brie Bella, gave her a hug. Stood tall in the ring. Good. That was the thing, man. Like, put this closer to the end and then end with Triple H and Ronda.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. If you had Charlotte Osku later, this, and then
they like to have, and rightfully so, that cool down match before the final match, right? Especially at Mania. And what were they thinking? How could they not have realized that Nicholas would have been one of the most over chants in that arena? How could they not have seen that?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to talking about that. That was a little controversial for some people, but I really got a kick out of it as far as a WrestleMania moment. So they announced the attendance tonight: 78,133 fans in the Superdome in New Orleans. We'll know what the real number and how many of those are paid when they release their Q2 financials in a couple months.
Then you don't ever really know. People give crap to the WWE numbers, but I still like. Like Meltzer always says, the WrestleMania 3 number was like 78,000, whereas, they always push 93,000. But you look at that arena, and it's full.
Come on. There's no, And
it's full. And there was no stage back then. I'm not saying it was 93,000, but I don't think it was 78.
Pritchard's adamant about that. You know? Then again, he's always, he's always crapping on Meltzer when he can. It's hilarious.
That's true. Yeah.
But you're right. Every time they do that the pan over the audience of the Pontiac Silverdome, it's impressive.
Yeah. No, I read Bixen Span's article for Deadspin about the true attendance number. I finished that article more confused than I was at the start of the article about how many people were there at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, but
we'll never know. As Raj, as you have to say,
paid or something. I'm sorry.
What's agree to disagree about how many people were actually there.
I wonder if there is even an actual record of it, or there might not be.
Yeah. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. So this match Cool entrances. Nyah in some different ring gear with some gold there. Alexa coming down from a platform, coming in with Mickie James. Nyah beating the shit out of Mickie James before the match even started.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt, what do you think of the
down matches you were talking about, Matt?
Yeah, it was cool. Nyah got her moment. She got her first championship. Very cool. I thought we would see the cash in here, to be honest with you. Yeah. I thought Carmella was going to cash in here. I really did. So
they know they've got too good of a mainstream story with Nyah and body acceptance. I'm telling you, man, tomorrow on the morning shows, media coverage.
Not to mention that she's The Rock, she's related to The Rock. So
you put her out there front and center. What a great story. What a great example. The whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of The Rock, now that I've seen it 5 times, they need to stop showing that scene from the Page movie.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I liked it the first 3 times. Now it's kind of like, really, again, with Page's little intro?
But when I see The Rock's promo, I just miss those promos.
Well, we all
every time they show it, I'm like, man, he's got just so far beyond some of the stuff you're seeing today as far as promos go.
Oh God, yeah.
Good moments. I think Nyah versus Osku, money right now. I mean, that'll be a really good build. I wonder if
this
they
match
do
was
Backlash.
Nothing. I thought. What'd you guys think?
It went on too long.
No, it wasn't. Didn't do much for me. I was just happy Nyah won the title.
Yeah, and she looked genuinely like really thrilled and happy. So,
Isn't it weird though? 2.5 years in after she debuted, that they waited to do a storyline about her size, and that's what got her over. That's what made her more of a star. Was finally when they humanized her and talked about her own insecurity and vulnerability. I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? When they tried to book her like a monster at first, it didn't connect.
What's so ironic about that, and almost backwards, is that as a babyface, you are taught to draw empathy from the crowd, right? Mm-hmm. That is the name of the game. Can you not just emotionally invest, but make the fans emotionally invest in you and feel sympathy and empathy when it's time to have those feelings? But because she's bigger, just like me as a bigger wrestler too, it's time to get heat on me or get heat on, say, Nyah in this case. It's very unbelievable 9 out of 10 times. So what do you go to? You go to a real life situation, just like you said. Yeah. They make people feel something for her, and it's sucking every one of us in. We love this storyline.
Yeah.
Someone's asking in the chat if you think she's like a female Miz, where she's really good on the mic, but not that great in the ring.
Who's that?
Jacko Bean.
No, but they ask you about Alexa or Nyah?
Alexa.
Alexa? I think Alexa's good in the ring.
No, I think she's very good in the ring. What do they do? No, she's excellent, actually.
True athlete. I mean, given her background and everything, gymnastics competition. I mean, she's had some matches that were a little rough, but look at who they were with. And
hang on, before we even go down that road, let's stop them right there and say you're on crack because Miz is friggin' fantastic in the ring.
That's true as well. Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's fantastic at the ring. I'd say he's good.
I would.
Yeah, because he knows how to play to his strengths.
Yeah.
People. No, he's good in the ring. That about him anymore.
Yeah. So after that, we went to the. God, I just can't believe how long WrestleMania was. I'm just looking at this list, and I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen after this. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Okay, so we talked about the placement earlier. Matt, I know what you're saying. Placement doesn't matter. You should be into the match because the match is great. The competitors are great, and they're busting their ass in the ring. But I'll tell you what, if Nyah versus Alexa had been half the length that it was, I think it would have been to the benefit of Shinsuke versus AJ.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're definitely the match for the overall presentation. I understand what you guys are saying. I 100% do. But from what I was going into this show to watch and what I was looking forward to the most was, is it go bonkers more than others? Yes. I thought they came up at the right times in this match when they needed them to. That's what was important to me, especially the finish.
I think the bar was set too high.
Technically it was good. I thought it was really good.
2 baby faces. P.S. 2 baby faces. And did you hear the reaction they got for hugging at the end? The fans enjoyed that match, folks.
They got into, they were into the post match. They were really into Nakamura turning heel and attacking him, and I think their rematches are going to be even better because I think having one heel with those two, I think
definitely
will help a lot. 100%. But I don't know because I think because of how late in the show it was and the crowd not into it, it was just that kind of just background noise,
so how you rate that match changes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if it was a hot crowd
Raj,
earlier in the show, not technically, but just overall present, just as an overall spectacle. It's like what I say about 205 Live.
Then get ready for your 4 stars for Nicholas then, and that's horseshit.
Well, there you go. But the fans were into it.
That's why you can't go off of that. That's exactly why.
But I'm saying as an entertainment, as when you're 5 hours into a show, and then the crowd is quiet, and you're already getting kind of tired, that doesn't help. Even if can you watch 10 hours of just good wrestling? Yeah. Maybe you can. But I get tired after a while. Like a lot, like some of these New Japan shows I think are awesome and off the hook. But when I'm watching them at midnight or 1 a.m, and then once I'm at 4 o'clock in the morning and the crowd is just, it's not that loud, I get tired. So I just felt like that's what it was with this. My tweet was, I just think this would have been better off early in the show. I just think like it would have been more appreciated. I think the crowd would have been hot. I think
it would have been more appreciated for sure. I definitely would have been better off from a crowd's, I don't know what you want to say, cheering perspective. But again, me coming to this match, I wanted to see like them tell their story that they were telling, and they continued to tell that story. They weren't given a good storyline to begin with. Let's be clear.
Yeah, and that's a big problem.
This wasn't a strong storyline. Right. But for me, watching the 2 athletes that I think are the best on that roster go head to head, minus Daniel Bryan now who's back. I thoroughly like those top 3 for me.
And now people bringing up, with Shinsuke turning heel, now it opens up a whole bunch of stuff. You brought Finn over, you got AJ, you got Daniel Bryan on the babyface side. I mean, it opens up a ton of possibilities. So I'm sure Shinsuke will be winning that title sooner than later.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see that tonight, honestly.
Yeah. Both Royal Rumble winners crapped out.
And both world titles neither world title changed. I think people were expecting both. I was expecting Reigns for sure. I wasn't expecting Nakamura to win.
I tweeted this before that if Brock retained, that would be the biggest swerve.
Yeah.
At least in the history of the internet wrestling community.
I think Brock beating Undertaker is still a little more shocking.
But I mean, with this, like, just in terms of such a predetermined outcome not happening.
And this was one of those predictability things that we're supposed to. We'll get into the match.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep moving. Go ahead.
No, Nakamura's entrance, got to shout that out. That was great.
Got to shout that out. It was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It was fantastic. Yeah. And that's the thing. It felt like, man, the Chronicle documentary that they had with him, just everything.
Like it was a coordination almost.
Yeah, I mean.
Like they were leading to it.
Especially given the lack of the story going into this. But now we'll have a story and maybe a backlash, it'll happen for him. But yeah, it was just kind of weird all in all. So yeah, afterwards they went to shake hands and then just Nakamura, what did he do? Just punch him in the gut?
Well, he went down to his knees, presented the belt.
Shot.
Oh, it was crotch. Okay.
Yeah, and then the low blow.
Yeah.
That was well done. That was really well done. Because I think he got me. I thought he was just presenting the belt. I was like, it's looking a little submissive, being on your knees, doing it like that. But
that's when I started to think something might be up. Yeah, but still shocking and surprising regardless. And again, the reaction they got at the very finish.
Matt, we lost you there for a sec.
Freaking! I don't know why you guys are losing me.
We could hear
you guys. Sorry, I just thought this was top 2 or 3 match. Keep it moving just before I lose you again. Sorry.
So after that, Braun Strowman and mystery partner versus The Bar. The Bar came out in a Mardi Gras float.
Stupid.
Braun Strowman came out, grabbed a mic, and really milked it. Everyone wants to know who his partner is going to be. It's not somebody back there. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you over there? And then went through the crowd, grabbed a kid, what could have been more than 9 or 10 years old, named Nicholas, brought him into the ring, told him to stand there, and then Braun was going to do the work. Yep. And, man, what a stunt. But I'll tell you that when Braun tagged the kid in.
The place went nuts.
Good Lord. I mean, come on. As far as WrestleMania moments go, this is going to be on every top 10 list for at least the next 10 years.
I'll probably get some news pub tomorrow, too.
Yeah, where's your interview with Nicholas, Raj? You should have a writer on that right now. tracking down Nicholas for an
Don't hold your breath
interview.
on that one.
Yeah. I don't care if it was a plan. I hope it was actually Make-A-Wish
of course
kid.
it was a plan.
Of course it was a plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, who knows with these things.
No, 100%, 150%.
Okay, well, I hope it was a Make-A-Wish kid because that would be really cool.
That would
And
be cool.
I tweeted this. I would have no problem. I don't know how they end this run, but if Braun goes from city to city on live events and TV and brings up a different Make-A-Wish kid every night to stand in the corner, I've got no problem with that. If he's the one-man wrecking crew,
No, because
the title for
I was okay with him beating him by himself in a handicap match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not?
So it's kind of the New Day rule, but with kids, I guess.
You know, yeah, hell yeah. I don't know. Guys, like that out-popped Nakamura versus AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what this kind of looked to me like? Do you remember when they turned Diesel babyface, like when he won the title, and then they started having him do all this corny kid stuff, like he dressed up like Santa Claus, was reading to kids, like because he had this like edgy side to him when he was with Shawn Michaels, and he was starting to get cheered because he had this like badass presence and everything. Then he won the title. They cleaned him up.
Right.
It almost seems like with Braun that they're starting to make him more like more acceptable to kids and families and like less of that violent, crazy person and more just.
It's like what they did with the Funkasaurus. Like, don't bring in the kids to dance and do the dance with the, in the ring afterwards.
Yeah. Right. Maybe like Ultimate Warrior when he won the title, they started having him do all this kid stuff. That's kind of what it seemed like to me. Like they're starting to give him that side to make him, if they're going with him as the top guy, maybe that's.
You kind of have to be though to be the top guy in this day and age.
Well, time out. But what makes you think? Like, I wish it was true. But what on God's green earth makes you think that it's pointing in his direction? He's the top guy.
Because who else do they got? Who else were they going to go with for Brock?
We don't know until the start shakeup.
Yeah, but there's no one that really stands out that you would think like that Vince has been pushing that you could see him seeing as the top guy or a top guy.
He was white hot the first time he faced Brock, and he should have won.
Oh, of course.
He was hotter then.
Yeah, they missed the timing on that, but he's still hot. He's still the hottest guy they have. I don't see who else.
I want that to be true. I hope it's true, and I hope I'm wrong on my gauge with that because I like him a lot, Mm-hmm. And I think he's great. I think he'd be a great top guy.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this points him in that direction with this. I mean, look, I think if I have my pick right now, do I want to see Roman as the top guy or Braun?
No. Yes, Braun all day.
I'd like to see Roman as the top heel. I think he would do a great job as that.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I do. I think so too.
Oh man. So yeah, Braun Strowman and Nicholas won. That happened.
Yep. So Nicholas is title holder.
Yeah.
Next.
See what they do tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Then the Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Kind of rushed with the entrances with this. Felt like they came in, they got going right away. But for me, I mean, Matt, what'd you think of this match overall?
It's always got to start that way with Brock being that bulldog, just like he was in all of his MMA fights, where he bum rushes his opponent.
Yeah. I felt like they could not get the crowd into this. Like, I didn't think there was anything that they could do to. We lost Glenn.
No. Yeah, he's back. But yeah, I agree with that. I don't know how. I was thinking in my head, what could they have done differently? The only thing I can think of is outright brutality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think of because the roster, the business is different now. It's at a faster pace.
Do you want to know what they should have done? Is they should have had a guy, WWE has a guy with beach balls, and whenever Roman is on offense, they have the guy with the beach balls throwing him out, and then confiscate him when Lesnar takes over. And to the crowd, like to the crowd at home, it'll sound like they're going along with it.
I know I shouldn't do this, but I got mad at them for doing that again tonight. I don't like that.
I hate the beach ball thing.
Just as a performer, I get it's your prerogative to do, cheer, boo, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
I just then leave the show. If you don't want to see the match, you don't like how it's going, get up and leave.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's their job to entertain us and yada yada yada.
I just couldn't believe the crowd doing a "This is awful" chant.
It's just so disrespectful, man. It's so disrespectful.
To me,
like, I don't have a problem with the "This is awful" chants. The CM Punk chants, I think, are annoying at this stage.
Stupid.
I didn't even notice that they were chanting CM Punk.
Yeah, it got quickly drowned out though. Like they were starting it, and then it kind of got drowned out.
But "This is awful" went for like a minute.
Yeah, that went boring. There were boring chants. Matt, what did you think about Brock at the beginning of this match? I thought he just looked just sloppy as hell.
A little. Alicia?
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. Sorry, guys. I keep hearing and seeing you guys. I guess you keep getting dropped. Sloppy and blowed up at times in the beginning.
Yeah, like he had trouble like lifting him. He looked like he dropped him on his head on one of the suplexes on the outside.
Onto the table, right?
And then the table, yeah, like he couldn't get him upright, so he just kind of like tossed him in. Like it was
weird.
It was weird. And then as the match went on, he seemed like he was, at least throwing him properly. But it looked like I was like starting to get worried for Roman there for a bit, like he was going to get injured.
Yeah.
So did he get busted open legit?
I think so. I think that was probably the same thing that happened with Randy, because he was doing those elbows.
Yeah.
He probably agreed with him, but said he'll take it. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's when I thought it was getting cool, to be honest. I mean, at that point, yeah, because it was getting vicious and faster paced. Started off way too slow for my liking, and then was over. And the ending was a big surprise. Although I have to say, Corey Graves looks at Roman bleeding, probably the most we've seen a guy bleed in the WWE ring in quite some time. Where he's keeping going, where it's coming down his face and all over. Corey dropping. This is the Samoan bloodline that Roman Reigns fights so proudly for.
Yeah. You didn't think that was good? I thought that was
awesome. I thought that was awesome that he segued with it.
I like that.
And then the match was over. Like right when it was to the point where it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, when he did like the fourth F5 and Roman kicked out, that's when I started thinking like, oh man, they're gonna have Roman lose this, like, because it's getting too ridiculous now if he kicks out. If now he wins, after having to kick out of 30 F5s. So that
would make you think he's going to lose?
Yeah.
I think he was going to overcome the odds.
I felt like they had him do a couple extra because he was losing. I think if it was the natural finish, he would have. I think the fourth would have done it. Like he would have.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I took it as honestly, we would see like 6 F5s or something crazy like that, and he would keep kicking.
Yeah, I thought it was
something like 5 Supermans maybe, or something crazy like that. Then he pins Brock finally. But when his blood came down, I'm like, here's his Hulk up moment. And here's the finish, but nope.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, like the whole thing, like going for a year to build for this moment and to not do it. Again, like the only thing I can think of is Vince decided to go with something else.
So, as a fan, I ask the fans, and whether you hate Roman or whether you like him, I want you to send your answer yes or no to Raj's message board right now. Does this make you now not trust WWE with storytelling? Seriously, meaning like when they say, well, just wait till the end of the story comes. We got another 6 months left. Then make your decision. Well, guess what? We waited, guys. We did exactly what you told us to do, and you crapped on us.
Yeah.
So far, it's all yeses. 1 no. Oh, a ton of yeses.
Yeah. I mean, this is crazy. And there were 2 weeks ago.
People are saying they never told a story.
No, they didn't.
This thing is going nuts right now. Never trusted them with stories. It's just to make Vince happy. This was horrible. Yeah.
Man.
It was bizarre. Oh, they're still flying, but yeah.
You think Roman wins tomorrow night on Raw?
Is that how you? I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. What would you guys think?
It's a hot Raw.
So originally, assuming Brock didn't resign, this was his last show on the deal. So either he signed an extension or he re-signed completely. But he was not supposed to be at Raw tomorrow.
Huh.
So I'm sure that's changed now. But I mean, his old deal, he didn't wrestle on TV, so he except for pay-per-views, and some house shows. So he's never wrestled on Raw since he came back in 2010 or whatever. So It would be the first time if he did since he came back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what to think, honestly, after tonight. No, and then here's the reason why. We talked about this. What have we been saying, or what have I been saying in the last couple of weeks? I'm looking forward because after WrestleMania, they hit the reset button.
Right.
We get some new shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if Roman and Brock are still the story, we are not getting new shit. It's going to be more of the same.
I agree.
Well, you know, Brock, if he did go back to UFC, he has to re-enter the USADA drug testing program, and that's going to take like 6 months. There could always be the thing where he signs a short-term extension and works through the summer. He has to spend all that time, you know, in that pool anyway.
I just don't see him going back. I don't know why. I just think this is easier money for him. His age, what he wants out of life. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll know a lot more tomorrow.
Even talking about WrestleMania, you realize just how goddamn long this show was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a crap! and what happens when you close this show and you bookend with this crap?
Right.
And I'm not a Roman fan. I don't ever say I am. You know, I think he's a great worker. I think he's improved immensely. I just think this wasn't the way to go, guys. I don't know how to say it.
I'm not a Roman.
In them.
Yeah, I'm not a Roman hater by any means. I think he gets a lot of unfair crap in a lot of ways. But I also know the reality of it, that he's going to get booed like hell in a crowd like this. And how do you not go in prepared for that and book accordingly?
Yeah.
You know, last year you had him against Undertaker, so you had the crowd going for somebody. You know, they were going for takers. This year, the way you booked it was the crowd was going to go for no one. And instead just shit all over the match. And you kind of see it coming.
Because
if you would just switch this and Ronda, the placement, it would have changed the show so much.
It would have, but I thought this was one of those deals where they just squeeze it past and say, you know what, we got to grin and bear it. Roman needs to be the champion, and we'll move forward.
Yeah, because we're going to get a new chapter and a new opponent. Right. And as we saw with Roman and Braun, if you give Roman the right opponent, it all works all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No new opponent means no new chapter, or another chapter in the same goddamn story we've been in for a year now. That's just been killing the top of Raw.
No, that's not true. I mean, unless you just mean Lesnar, because Roman only got into it the last couple months. You know,
but he's been kind of.
It's been Braun and Kane before that, then Braun, then Samoa Joe. So you know they've been mixing who Brock beats at the top for a while. But yes, if you're sick of Brock, then this isn't going to help things.
Oh man, we shall see tomorrow night. And we'll be back here.
We got so Lashley supposedly coming in soon. Jeff Hardy's ready to return. Big Cass, Samoa Joe. I feel bad for him. 2 years in a row missing Mania. You know that sucks. But
yeah, it does suck.
But yeah.
22 hours, folks. We'll be back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about Monday Night Raw from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans.
Yeah. 2 more days.
Anything else to cover before we take this home here?
I think that's it.
Cool. He is Matt Morgan at BP Matt Morgan on Instagram and Twitter. Matt Morgan 4 Longwood on Facebook. Raj Giri _303 on Twitter. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein on Twitter. Would appreciate a follow. We cover Raw and SmackDown live each week. I'm both there in the Wrestling Inc. feed, Raj's feed as well. And yeah, guys, we'll be back here tomorrow night to talk about Monday Night Raw.
Real quick, a couple of people are bringing this up. Did you guys see that thing with Alicia Fox?
No. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. What was the genesis of that?
So we don't know what they were arguing about, but she was in an argument with Ronda Rousey's husband, Travis Brown. And these guys from Sky Sports, I don't know if they bought the tape or what. Someone was recording it with their phone. But yeah,
is it on the internet?
Yeah. It's if you go to Wrestling Inc. There's like 70 headlines, but if you go like towards the bottom, you'll see it. But yeah,
when was this?
This morning. So it happened late last night, early this morning. She's going off on him. She looks like she had been drinking maybe or something, or it was late. But yeah, it got she got in his face, and that's clearly not good when they're pushing Rousey so hard.
No, of course it's
got
not.
a lot of leverage. Yeah.
But don't you think Vince kind of respects the workers that live the gimmick?
That's not living the gimmick, I'm guessing.
No, that's being stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get more details.
And some people are bringing up, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Got into altercation with Jake the Snake Roberts at WrestleCon. He threw like hot coffee in his face, and apparently Jake had to go to the doctor. It was messy. I haven't heard of any charges being filed or anything, but yeah, apparently Davey Boy was upset that. What's that?
He's one of the kindest kids I've ever met in my life. I'm shocked.
Yeah, like Teddy Hart, I could see.
Right, yeah.
But I was shocked to hear it. But apparently he was upset with some comments that Jake made about his dad on social media or something. And, and Jake wanted to shake his hand. He went off on him. Davey went off on Jake and then ended up throwing hot coffee or hot water or something in his face.
Jesus.
So,
good Lord.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, so a lot of craziness. Alberto Del Rio released. We talked about that. A lot of craziness this weekend.
Yeah, man. And who knows what tomorrow night holds?
Yeah.
Does Brock show up? Does Heyman show up? Maybe Brock shows up and drops the title and we get a tournament.
Well,
who knows?
I wouldn't. Yeah, we'll see. Again, Brock hasn't wrestled on Raw yet.
At this point, I have no clue what's happening right now. I think that's what everyone's freaking out about.
Too. That's kind of cool too. It throws a big wrench in things. Like a lot of people assumed a lot of things tonight that didn't happen.
Cool. Well, folks, it's unpredictable. It's wild. It's professional wrestling, and we'll be back here tomorrow night to give you the latest on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Until then, take care and get some rest. It's been a long weekend.